know, if you have one of them there four-wheel drive things, you have differentials, you also have a transfer case.
And when was the last time you got out those components serviced? If it's been a while, our Monday morning mechanic, David Rogers, is joining us live to show us what could happen if you don't get them serviced. Hey, David.
Oh, well, good morning, Natalie. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Tom. Hi to you, too. Hey, I got a question for you. How do you service a differential?
Oh, how do I do it?
Yeah, Tom, how do you service yours?
You know what? I start because I have a Phillips screwdriver, and that's how I start. And then it's a lot after that.
Just kind of tap it on it and see if it goes.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hey, differential service really a simple thing to have done at a shop. And what we do is we change the fluids. Basically, your differential fluid should look like this. This is synthetic fluid here that's a very slippery, greasy sort of lubricant. This is what I took out of the unit I'm going to show you today. Oh, isn't that nice?
It's like Natalie's coffee.
Yeah, that was about a $3,000 mistake on the customer's part. And I'll show you here. Here's what happens. You see this little tiny itsy-bitsy crack right there? Yeah, that'd be the case coming clear in half. There shouldn't be any space there. This thing's hammered. And basically what happens is the differential transfers the power from the motor, from the engine, to the wheels. And it sits right here. There's the front one in between the axles, and there's the back one in between the rear axles. So when you have four-wheel drive, that's basically what your setup's going to be. Now, what we do when we service them is we get clean fluid in there because you got all these little gears, all these meshing components that work together in order to transfer that power. As you can see, this gear matches up with this gear. Well, because you've got metal on metal, if the fluid's not good, what happens is you're sitting there, you're engaging that four-wheel drive when you're stuck or when you're going from stop to start, and then it just grinds metal on metal. So, folks, this is really an inexpensive thing to do. This component here, $3,000. To change the fluid out, maybe 60, 70 bucks. I mean, it's really, really well worth it. One of the things that you want to think about with any kind of fluid for a hydraulics or for a lubrication is that fluid should probably be changed just about every other year on average. If you do a lot of towing or if you've been in conditions like we've had here in Colorado where we've been slipping and sliding, you need a service. And the fact of the matter is your transmission, we're not showing one of those today, but your transmission needs a service too. If your wheels have been spinning, you have been damaging your transmission, you've been damaging that fluid, and it's not going to work well anymore. So I strongly, strongly advise you to get out and do it before you're in my operating room and I have to change yours.
Yikes. So, David, here's my question. I don't go in and say, hey, can you take a look at the differential? Like, I wouldn't know to do that. So if I'm just in for an oil change, will they pick up on something like that, or do you have to take it in for other services?
That is a great question, and I'll tell you, from shop to shop, it's going to vary. If you go into a fasty, quickie sort of oil-changey place, chances are you're not really going to get all your fluids checked. I'd go to a certified master technician, an ASE certified master technician, tell them that you want all your fluids checked, and make sure that they show you samples of those fluids next to good fluid so that you can compare it.
So should you do that when you go in for your oil change? Because that's really the only regular thing most of us do.
Natalie, that's smart. I mean, that's exactly the thing. Used to, when we went to the gas station, you know, they check our fluids when we pulled up. And now the only time you're going to get it done on a regular basis is an oil change. So absolutely have it checked at your oil change.
Great information, David. Thanks as always.
Thank you, Natalie. Thanks, Tom.